Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, so we are going to do a demo that everybody's been waiting for on the amazing, maybe if I move my camera back a bit. There we go. On amazing casting resin, and I'm going to use some amazing mold putty. Now, I gotta find my stir, but we'll deal with that in a minute. What it is you get in your amazing mold putty, which comes in a box like this. You can find these on hobbylobby.com. They usually have a 40% off coupon. These are usually $20 a piece, so it's $20 for the amazing mold putty and $20 for the resin. So you can use one coupon. So if you use 1 week and buy it, use this, then you'll get this for $10 and you'll get the other for $10 the following week. It comes in, I'm trying to move my stuff around here. It comes in, the putty itself comes in part A, and you can throw it around if you want. Part A and part B. And the resin itself, just is almost gone, or this one's dried up. So I shall use a different one. Isn't that funny? I didn't even know that. I didn't even look when I took it out. There's only a little bit left in there, so not really a surprise. All right, and you get these cups in the resin itself, and then you get, and they usually give you sticks to stir it with, but I must have taken them out, or they fell out because the bottom of the box opened. But you get these big bottles, and it is liquid A and liquid B. Now, just because it excites me, I'm seeing if this is the one. Wait a minute. I think that's why I did this, so I would remember this was the one. This is the one that has my... Wait a minute. Wait for it. I made this. This is out of the resin. Look how cool. Steampunk octopus, right? Made it with this when I was on the design team. And look what is on the box. Here it is before I colored it. Here it is after. I am now forever on the amazing casting resin box. How freaking cool am I? I'm pretty cool. I was pretty cool before, but now look. So there it is. That's when I made it. And the mold I have for it. And that's what, after it cured, which is right here, it comes out white when you use the quick cure. And then I made it all fancy schmancy. And they asked if they could use it on their box. And I said, of course. So that is that. And like I said, in real person, in real life, here is the piece. How cool. So we're going to do a few things. So, okay, so I showed you the mold putty. This is the resin. Maybe I'll, let me do one thing. Wait, maybe I'll do, because this is the latest. Let me grab another one. I wonder if I have another one that's opened. I'm so organized. Let me do this up here, because I see my stir. Here's my stir. Let's see if I can use that. Now, okay. This is an older box. None of my stuff on it. Doesn't matter. But anyway, let me try to, because I know I have some that are open. And I want to use them before I open up other ones. I may have to get my daughter to get my husband to open that one. Can you go see if Daddy can open this real quick? Okay, so what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you. You can get all kinds of different coloring for the casting resin. Now, this is the amazing casting resin, which liquid to solid within 10 minutes. And it cures, as you can see on the bottom, white. The other one is Amazing Clear Cast. And it's from the same company, but it takes approximately 24 hours to cure, and it cures completely clear. So you can put glitter, pieces of anything in it, so it can clear. So it can dry clear, and then you can see the things in it. For rings, jewelry, scrapbooking, whatever. Really cool. I'll show you that another day, but we're just going to work on this right now. So with the clear and with this quick cast, there are powders. This is a pearlescent powder. This is a yellow dye. I mean, it comes in everything. Comes in white, red. I'm not going to go through everything. Another red I have. Blue. Another yellow. African American color, so you can do faces. A black dye. A brown dye. Thank you, Emily, very much. Native American. Caucasian dye. So these are all great for if you're doing dolls and casting doll faces and whatnot, that you can use these. I have another blue dye. I have a green dye. Another pearlescent. Metallic. Silver metallic. Another silver metallic. I was on the, another silver metallic. Wow. And a gunmetal. I was on the design team for 2 terms. So I got, you know, like the first term, I was on there, I got sent everything that you do. And then when I got on the second term, they sent me the same things, you know, as they do, because you're on the team again. And new people are on the team too, so they get the new stuff. So that is with that. So those are some cool things that you can get with it. Now, let's start and see how we do here. What we do is, and I'm going to move my camera down just a little bit, just so you can see. You want equal parts of the A and B of the putty. Now, what I normally do is I just kind of stick my finger in there and pull out, and I pick, you know, start with one, whether A or B. I mean, obviously this is B, because that's what I picked up, but it doesn't matter what you use first. I'm going to pull out some of this. And you want equal parts. Now, if you're fancier than me and you want to, you know, I don't know, measure it. If you have like one of those measurers that you can do it on by ounce and you put it on there and say, oh, it's 2 ounces, whatever it is. I don't know. Or a cup or whatever. That's up to you. Again, you're fancier than I. But you want equal parts. And really, it's easy to kind of do by eye. Oh my gosh, it's raining here again. This weather. It's making my body crazy. And that looks about good to me. I'm going to shut that back up. And I just want a little bit more of this yellow that I see sitting here. Okay, now, here's what happens. I've shown you how to use regular polymer clay and the bake and bend clay to make molds. I have millions of molds I've made with Amazing Cast in Resin or the Mold Putty. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Now, like I said, if you don't have money and everything, the bake and bend or regular polymer clay is great. If you have money or you want to try this out, I am doing a giveaway with this, but this is great. So this is one of my favorite things. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So you can see we have, and what I like to do is I roll it in a ball, and then I'll roll the yellow and I'll put it next. And I see that the yellow, as you can see too, is a little bit bigger than, so probably that last bit that I took out. And all you do, because it doesn't activate or do anything until you mix them. So I just do things by eye. So that looks pretty even to me. Okay. Now, before you mix them, figure out what you're going to cast. And it can be anything. It can be, we can cast this. We can cast, you can, I mean, the world's your oyster, as they say. I mean, you can cast anything. A leaf that you find outside that's very textured. Molds, I can't even explain to you, but what I'm going to do is, you see in another video I made this face. So I think I'm going to cast this face. So then I have this face and we'll see how it comes out. So what you do next is, they don't activate until they're together. So what we're going to do is, we're going to mush them together, and you just mush. And it's like dough. You want it to be completely incorporated with each other. And it's pretty quick working time once it's mixed all together. And you get like 2/3 of a pound of the putty. So that's quite a bit. I mean, when you're working with, like, I like to buy little trinkets and pieces of jewelry and stuff. And one day I'll do a video on all the pieces that I have, you know, cast and formed to give you a good idea. But like, if you have like a piece of jewelry that you love that you want to cast and do over and over again, or like I'm doing this face, or you know, I mean, there's so many, like I said, pieces of jewelry or a rock or like a shape of anything, absolutely anything. Now you can see there's still striations in there, so we're just gonna, I pull it apart and just keep rubbing it, and you can just kind of mush it down and roll it like dough for a minute. But you want it all mixed in so it's all one color. Oh my God, there's rain in here. Okay. But this is one of my favorite things, and I do love this stuff. And if Michaels does, one of my Michaels, but the other one didn't, but one of them does sell it. So check out your Michaels. You might get lucky. And if you can't find this in your Michaels and you don't want to order offline, they also have, it's called Mold Maker. And it's by the Tim Holtz stuff. Like by the embossing powder. Mold Maker, it's called. And it's much less, I mean, it's less expensive than this, but you get much less product. So, now I don't know if this is going to be big enough. We'll see. So here we have our thing mixed. And I'm going to kind of form it out into like this, an oval, so I know my face is. Now I'm going to take my skull face, and I'm going to just push it in. And then I'm going to push up, and you'll see when I get to that side. Take my fingers and push up around. That would be a little easier if I didn't have the body on there. I'm not really going to worry about it. Just kind of push it up around the sides. So when you fill it with the resin, it doesn't pour out. And I'll take my stick right here and just give it a little push up there just so it has it. Okay, so while that sits, this will take a few minutes, and you just leave it sit. Again, think of all the fun things you can do. You know, like I said, this is from a piece of jewelry that I picked up. I love steampunk, and this is from a piece of jewelry, and I have like molds for that, and so many cool things that you can mold. I'm trying to think. Those are for, okay, no, I was trying to think of, I gotta find my molds. I have my molds somewhere. Can't really show you them right now. Okay, so while this is setting up, I'm going to take my amazing mold putty, make sure that your lids are shut, and I'm going to put that into the boxes, back into the box, to get it out of the way, because you know I'm so neat and tidy. I'm neat and tidy. Okay, and then I'm going to move this over here. And we shall get ready for... Now, these cups come with it. You get like a couple cups in each. You can see mine are well used. You don't have to throw them away after each use. You can get these at the drugstore or the dollar store too. Or you can just use, it's a one-on-one. So if you have your own measuring cup or you go to the dollar store and buy like 1/8 of a cup, you know what I mean, or the smallest cup they have, and mark it so you know how much you're using. It's a one-on-one mixture. So, you know, they do, I could have cleaned them out a little bit better with a paper towel when I'm done. Because what makes them have this crust on them is when you mix them in this. So if you have something separate to mix them in, you can do that. I don't, I just usually use once I measure them out, I pour it into the one and measure it. But these are them clean. So I'll probably pour into one and B into the one, then mix into the cookie one. But I can't mix yet until my head's done. So we're just going to give it another minute. Doesn't take that long. And I got this. I love this. And I was thinking about doing her face, but because like this is all clay, but her hat is like severely hot glued on, and if I rip it off, I'm afraid I'm going to break it because I really wanted to like form that face. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I don't want, ooh, coffee. I don't want the hat, so I don't, oh my goodness gracious. The hat I don't want. Now let me show you. Like I have these, and you can also do these kind of things. I'm coming. You can do like keys that you buy that are stickers. This is like a 3-dimensional. You can do that. You can form that. I have formed, this is a real jewelry piece, but I formed the rose. You do the same thing. You mix it up and everything like that. You stick it in. You leave it hard and you take it out. You got this beautiful rose. I think I might even have a mold somewhere of that. I love cats. I love animals altogether. You can do little, let's see if it clears it up. Isn't going to clear it up. But you see that little cat, how cute. Or these cats. I mean, buttons. Like I said, any jewelry piece. I have so much jewelry because I love making it. So I love making extra pieces because you don't have to. And you can do this again in polymer clay. In the bend and bake or bake and bend clay, polymer clay, or the regular clay like I've shown you. Because when you go and you make your own, like if you buy a beautiful jewelry piece, and some of them can be expensive, like this was like probably like $9.99, $10.99, you know, and I'd like these in different colors. So when I, you know, put it in, whether you use clay or you use mold putty, you then can use clay or resin, either one, and make any color that you want. So that's really a plus too, in whichever way you choose to do it. Okay, it's firming up. You can feel the difference like from before to where it's firming up now. Don't want to take it out yet. And if we mix our resin, then what's going to happen? It's going to, maybe we will, I'll just pour one. All right, so I don't know how much we're going to need. Let's do a teaspoon. So I'll take a teaspoon of side A. And on the measuring cup, I don't know if you can see, it has the measures, so you can measure whatever you want. I don't want to overdo it. I wonder how much I'm going to need. Because you're going to need double. That would be 2. Maybe I'll just do a tablespoon. Or I'll do a double. I'll do 1 DSS, whatever the heck that means. I don't want to have too much because I don't have my other molds sitting here to make. Do you know what happened to my other molds? Mm-hmm. No. Now you can use these in silicone molds for clay, polymer clay, which let me grab one case I have a little extra while you stare at the back of that head. Well, let's see. All right, just in case we have any extra. And these are the silicone molds I mean. You can get them with your AC Moore, Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, whatever, and they're just like the squishy, I guess they're silicone. These happen to be Christmassy ones with the word love. I thought that said anger, but it says angels, I think. And you can see the faces that are on here. So I'll probably just pour it like in this little face right here if I have any extra. But you can use those too to pour the resin in. So if you only have resin, you can definitely use it in them or make your own molds again in polymer clay or the bake and bend. So we have our A. Let's see. Okay, now this feels very hard. There's no resistance. So let's lift it off our, you always use a piece of parchment paper, wax paper, craft mat, you know, the, what are these called? Yeah, that they don't stick. Teflon. And we're just going to pull his face out. And see? We have a face. Now, I could have pushed down a little bit further to make it more, but I didn't. The reason I didn't is because I didn't know how deep I made this. If I wanted to go even further to get more of the texture of the face, I could have, you know, I would have made this a little bit more. But I didn't. I made it a smaller piece just for demo purposes, but we're still going to get a good piece out of it. So now that we have this done, and you can see it's like rubber, no big deal. We're going to mix. So now let's put in our liquid B. Hello, liquid B. And I'm not going to use this. See, this had the liquid A in it. And all I'm going to do is wipe it out with a paper towel, because if I mix my liquid B in with this, what it's going to do is react, and that's when you get the crusty look, like when your nose runs and stuff. So let me find the same side on here, and I'm going to do 1 DSSP, whatever that means. And you want to make sure it's equal. And now let's pour it into here. Make sure it all goes in there. And I'm not going to color this one, I don't think. Let me see, maybe I'll do a little. If you were going to color, you would have mixed the color into one of the, here's black, into one of the colors in A before you mixed it with B. Let's see if I can squeeze out before it gets hard. It's just not going to work for me right now, so I'm not going to play around with it right now because my hands hurt. So what we're going to do is we're going to thoroughly mix and mix. And just mix, 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 mix. Scrape around them sides. Just mix for a second so you get it all together. Okay. I can see it's starting to harden. I think I have my white way at the bottom because I want to show you guys a little of the color. Because it's going to come out white anyway, so it's not going to matter. But I'll just put a drop of white in just to show you. I wanted to do black, but it doesn't matter. So we're going to stir real quick. Doesn't matter, there's striations in it because, and you're going to feel it's going to warm up. And that means it's starting to activate. Now, just pour. And you see we have extra left over, so I got my mold here. Now all I'm going to do is just start hitting up all the molds. I'll do those, give these into a giveaway. That one's a cute one. And it's already starting to harden in the plastic cup. So you can just scrape out if you have a little bit more. Move it towards the ends if you see that it needs to be scooched a little bit. And that was perfect for that. And you can see here, it's going to dry, and I can peel that right up off there. So then, while we're waiting on that to dry, which will take 5 minutes or so, I know this is real time and very exciting to sit and watch paint dry, as they say. I'm going to show you. We're just going to take our cup and a paper towel, stick it in there. You really don't want to use water. Now you'll feel the cup is warm, and that's what happens when they activate. And I just roll it around in there. I'll wipe off the outside because it gets a little sticky. And I'll set it aside, and then I'll go into my other, and you can see it like started drying on my hand, so I have a little bit of that on there. And then I'm just going to go in and do the same thing with all the rest of them. I do, like I said, I do love this stuff. I just sometimes can't afford to get it all the time, like as much as I want and use it. I'm very frugal with it because I love it that much, and I have to find different ways to do what I love to do when I find things that I love, if that makes sense. So that's why the Bake and Bend is so wonderful, because even polymer clay itself, when you're making molds, because I should have poured some in the mold, in the polymer clay mold. Oh well. Now you can see on the skull, you can see it turning white, and that means it is starting to get hard. So I'm going to move him so you can see that, and move this over here so you can watch them. You can see the white coming. They're not clear anymore. So that means that they're starting to harden up, which is very exciting. Now at this point, you know, I mean, I probably would have done it a few minutes ago, but once I saw it starting to get hard. Sometimes I put a drop of black or, you know, another color in there, and kind of like took my stick and swirled it in, so it had a like really cool effect. But the great thing with these when they're done is you can paint them. So you just put a little matte, you know, little gesso on them, and paint away with acrylic paints, whatever kind of paint that you like. So that works really, really good. You know, if you don't have the coloring. Now my hand's a little sticky. Throw this away. I'm gonna wipe off my stick. Try to wipe everything off, because if it gets hard on there, it does make it harder next time when you're working with it. Wipe off my mat, because later when I go to do more art, I know what will happen then. Now you'll be able to feel, like when you lift this up underneath, how hot it is. It gets very, very hot, so don't get concerned. It just gets hot, and that just means that it's all activating and working out. And again, like I said, think of the things that you can, you know, you can mold. If you have, like for instance, and I've done this too, like if you have like a cookie mold and you stick, you know, or some sort of mold, and you stick clay in here to get your piece, and then bake it, and then you have you know, like a head, kind of like we did with the skeleton over there, the skull. Then you make one of these, and you print it in, and then you constantly have a mold for your clay or for your resin or air dry clay or whatever that you'll get. It's kind of like mass production in a way. So you have like the same, like if you have a face that you make that out of clay that you love so much, or you find a baby doll face or a Barbie doll face or something that you really love, and you make a print of it, then you can constantly have it. Do you know what I mean? So it's a really, really great thing. And like I said, you can get it in all kinds of different, use all these different dyes and stuff that you can buy on the Illuminite, what is it? Illuminite Corporation site. And it's ALUMILITE.com, where you can get all this. Or again, Hobby Lobby sells it. You look it up, Amazing Cast and Resin, Amazing Mold Putty. You can look it up there, use their coupon. Michael's I've seen it at, so there are, you know, it is available, and it is one of my favorite things in the world. And we're about ready to unveil. It's a little still hot, a little still smashing. My hands are a little sticky where it dried. I'm going to take my paper towel one more time and go into my cups. I'll give it one more squeeze so those can be put away. It's just like an oily feeling. You wash your hands, it comes off. It's not a big deal. And I'll just set those in there. Got my stick. Put my stick in there. And I don't need my stick in there because that's the box that... Now here's some of the things. This will help too. If you look on the side here, can you see some of the things that they made? They took a seashell and made a seashell. They took the buttons that I showed you, like I showed you the cat ones, and they made buttons. They took dog bones, and they took little Scrabble tiles. Somebody did their hand, as you can see right here, and then made a picture frame out of it. A little guy. All these little trinkets. So you make a clay piece, you want to keep it, you form it in here. And you have a bunch of them. You can give them as gifts, make them into little magnets. I mean, how cute is that? And like I said, on the bottom here, they have all these different things you can make. I mean, look how little, like the crosses and the little stars and the trees and everything are. I mean, it's amazing. So, and here's like a regular shell. And you can see down where it starts to get white how it works. It says the resin begins to cure after 3 minutes. Highlighted by the color change. Once it hardens, flex mold and remove the cast piece. So, very awful. I mean, awesome. Awful. I know. I'm like, very awesome. Awful. All right. I think we're about ready here. All right. Since these are smaller, they're probably easier. So let me just pop. No, that one's not done yet. You'll see because it'll start as a stick. Okay, this one is. So we're going to pop it out. And you just pull it. Put your little mold back in there. And look at this. That's the first one. And you can see on the forehead a little bit, like I must have had dark clay in there, and it kind of picked it up a little bit. But look how cool. Look at the detail. Isn't that awesome? So that's the one. Let's try the next one. Just kind of work with it slow. Peel it out. And it doesn't, you can see it doesn't hurt the mold at all. Well, this one come out real nice. I love this one. And they're still a little warm. Can you see? Let's see. Look how cool that come out. Look at all the detail in the hair. See if you get it better. It's awesome. And like I said, you could see I had a little color, dark color in there. I don't know what the heck I was doing in there. Some little dark color, but you see, so far, that's what we got so far. And look at the detail and look how great they are. And that's the white. It cured so fast. Now, if we would have done this with the clear, amazing clear cast, it would have been completely clear and it would have taken approximately 24 hours, maybe even longer in this weather because it's been a little rainy and humid here. So those are these two. And now And this, remember, these were just in regular silicone molds you buy from the store. And they have millions of these. You can get them online, at the store, you know, everywhere, at the thrift store. So I have a bunch of them. I have ones with letters. You could do letters where you're doing somebody's name, or if you're doing a mixed media piece and you want to do a quote. I mean, you can go all out and have a blast. So let's see how this comes out. And like I said, it still feels warm. Not a big deal. Look, comes out like nothing. Oh, so cool. Look. How cool is that? Do I have like a piece of paper I could put it on to really show? Probably not. This is white. Wonder if white on white's going to be a problem. Let's see if I can do it on this. I want you to see the detail. Yeah, look. Look how cool. You can see, if it clears up, all the marks. And like I said, if I go over this with black paint, like I did with the other one, I have the same exact face. So now I have these for mixed media pieces and everything else. Look how cool. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. What I will do though is I will paint this later, like I did with the doll that we're doing, and show you how good it looks, like how the cracks and all that kind of stuff. And the great thing is when you're done, if you have some overflow, you know, that maybe come on or whatever, you can sand these down. You can sand it with a piece of sandpaper or your rotozip or whatever, an emery board, and just give it a quick sand, and it will work out fine. So you know what I mean? You're not. And here's the mold. Now I have a skull mold that I can make skulls from for paintings, pictures, earrings, a necklace. White's a really funny color. That's a little better. But look how cool. So that is amazing mold putty and amazing casting resin. Again, like I said, you can use your bake and bend from Sculpey. You can use your polymer clay extra pieces, which I'm going to show you something right now. I have to bake. I have not baked yet. Where'd it go? I know I have it somewhere. Here it is. That I molded from my daughter. It's a creepy skull. I just have to bake it. And then I'm going to use, this is like extra polymer clay, and I stuck a skull face in that she had. And I'm going to bake it, and then I'll have another cool little skull face. And this is just regular polymer clay. So, like I said, you can do either way. Do I love amazing casting resin and amazing mold putty? Yes, I do. And this is what it does. It's awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know what you think. Be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And that's the original, and that's what we got from it. Like I said, the nose, I don't know how well you can see. It's not as thick, like I said, because I didn't make the mold as thick, but I don't care, because if I'm using this on mixed media pieces or whatever, even if I do a doll on a canvas and use this as the head, it's thin, it's fine, happy with it. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you very much. Bye.